This is Seeing What's Here, and today we're talking about intention, the stories we tell ourselves about why we do what we do and how difficult it is to truly know what's driving another person or even ourselves. Good morning, Pablo.
Good morning. How are you, Vanessa?
I'm doing well overall.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
there's been a few challenges this week, but I'm
Okay, yeah. What's been going on?
working through them. So for our topic today, I was wanting to focus on discussing just intention.
Okay.
Um, it's because it's just come up in many different scenarios and some teachings I've been listening to, and then just in life, wondering about people's intentions or people trying to defend their intentions,
Oh,
even
oh,
though
okay.
their actions are hurtful, but they're saying, well, but yeah, I'm intending, this for good, or
Sure,
well, this
sure.
needs to be fair. But how much does intention actually matter? If harm is happening or hurt is happening,
Well, yeah.
that's
So it always brings me to
uh-huh.
Alan Watts, and we talk about this a lot, or I like to bring it up a lot. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And because, everybody's intention is like, how do you know that your intention is a good one?
Right,
Like,
right.
how do you measure that? That's just you, right? And so up against somebody else's. So I guess that's why ultimately, in the end, that's why it becomes hell, because like you think it's going to be all these great things, that you're going to do, but ultimately just kind of all the wheels come off the bus,
Mm-hmm.
because um, they're just, it's not, well, to me, I believe it's just not flowing. That's what I've come to understand when I get in those situations. You know, um, a lot of times maybe and I was really bad about it when I was younger because it was a lot of mind over matter. And I could watch my father do that, and I was like, okay, I can duplicate that, so I could do mind over matter. And so intention, mind and will to get something done became real important to me. And that's how you
Mm-hmm.
can control situations, is control your life. It's powerful. But how do you know that your ladder's up against the right building?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that all the things that you're doing are the right things? Like, is it just because, well, for me, it started with family, and that's a big one because everybody tells you, family, family, family. But I was like, well, is it family? Because, it seems to me like family it seems like they all kind of want to do the crab in the bucket thing, man. Like, as soon as you want to get yourself out of the bucket, they're all like, "Hey, man, what you doing? Get back down here." You know? So,
Tall poppy syndrome. I
yeah,
heard
yeah,
somebody say that, like,
yeah,
oh, what are you doing up there?
yeah. So imagine, like, in that whole bucket, all these people with all their intentions, and they're all thinking that they're good. And so it's like, well, maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. And that set me on the path of
Right.
trying to discern, yeah, discern that. Because
Mm-hmm.
eventually you should. Because ultimately, I think, because I went over some Alan Watts this morning, and I do recommend anybody to listen to Alan Watts because ultimately, if you're quiet enough, there's an inner voice that will tell you what really is true, and and not even just clues, but will set you on your journey to where intention is something that you can set, but then you don't have to be attached to outcome from
Mm-hmm.
it. And it's more real. It has more energy behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's the other thing. More distractions. If you can take away all those things that are distracting you, you realize that you've got this one thing to work on. You have to get yourself out of the way. Like, because a lot of those things that you're distracting yourself, those are the things that are getting in your way
Mm-hmm.
of the one thing that source is trying to get through you. And so a lot of those intentions, maybe they're not even like proper. They're just your ego saying, I think I want to do that because I think that's me. And yeah, you try it out and you wear it, and it's like, well, most of the time people just don't like the outcome.
Right.
Because they get really attached to the outcome of that intention. And that's usually the downfall. You know, like
Right.
you have the intention, there's nothing
Right.
wrong with it, but it's like what happens is that it doesn't come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when people are like, what the hell, dude?
Right. Right.
Or
Yeah.
yourself, it's like, I can't make this happen. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. That reminds me, like Rabbi Baton is taught when we are setting intentions for our life, we do that and then we release on that attachment to the outcome.
Oh, yeah.
That
Right
is
on.
so key because otherwise, I mean, that attachment, it creates a resistance. And then
Correct.
you have this resistance energy and
Yeah.
things don't flow.
It doesn't flow.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really what, well, the work that we do is just trying to get the flow. We're trying to
Yes.
get that flow
Yes.
going. And
Exactly.
it's and so yeah, some of it could be from, well, I mean, yeah, how do you know that your intention is right? Have you done the work to discern that, you know?
That's hard. And yeah, that was something I actually had in my notes. We can convince ourselves that our intentions are good. Yeah, well, I'm being just or fair, or I just want X, Y, or Z. And, those are good things for the situation, but we're not necessarily looking at the harm that it may be causing or the hurt to others. And I'm just thinking about education. And I know the teachers, their intention is, well, I am teaching whatever their subject is, and I am holding the kids to this high standard, and they're not meeting it. So F, D, whatever. And these kids are like, what? Why? And then consequence and punishment. And so I'm just giving that scenario because teachers think that, well, I have good intentions, right? And they're absolutely convinced of that.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing on the other end is hurt and the kids struggling.
Why do I all of a sudden want to bring up the Jackson 5 and Michael again with the
Because
story?
he's in the collective consciousness right
isn't he?
now.
Isn't he? Yeah. The only story I remember about that was how Joe Jackson used to make the boys move rocks, big old blocks or something, like concrete blocks, like from one pile to another,
Mhm.
you know. And I remember, like in my personal life too, there was a time my dad made me dig lateral lines by hand with a pick and
Mhm.
shovel for a sewer for a house. And it was a meaningless work, you know, like, because we could have got a backhoe, right? So what is that kind of mentality that a teacher would want to, you know, like use punishment as a tool?
It's very common
Yeah.
because they think they're teaching
Yeah.
kids about real life, and
Yeah.
real life has consequences. You don't
Didn't-
pay
what-
your bills.
What did the gates of one of the concentration camps? What did one of the gates have welded to the front?
Work will set you free. Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
I think
That's
that
so
was
funny.
over Auschwitz. I'm checking with my live studio audience.
Dude, is that right? Yeah. So here's the thing, you know, it comes back to, gosh, you've got time with these children, right? Yeah. So
Mhm.
it's not like we talked about last podcast. You know, we don't have control over others a lot of times,
No.
and teachers are the worst. As I grew up, I was like, I have no control over them. All you have is the control over your response,
Mhm.
you know, and so, you know, I think, well, maybe Michael Jackson is a great example of
Mhm.
the response to that, right?
Yeah.
To look towards the source in you and let that manifest,
Right. Right.
and nothing else, you know. Just that's going to happen, and people are going to get in your way, and they're going to be like that. Maybe it's going to color your experience, but you know, or you know, make you the better person. Like what's that saying? If it doesn't kill you, it
Makes you
yeah, something like
stronger.
that. Yeah. I mean, which is true. I mean, that's
I
how we
know.
grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
We grow by just facing those
Yeah.
little inadequacies within ourselves and all that. Because maybe it is that too. I mean, I don't know. You're just telling me the story, right? Maybe there's a couple, you know, like a whole group of knuckleheads that need to pull their heads out of their ass, right? You know?
Sure.
But at the same time, you know, who knows? We're all here to play those roles with whoever.
I
though,
know,
right?
it's so uncomfortable. Because I was feeling the pain and impact of these students and a couple other situations, and people think maybe their intention cancels the impact of what they're doing, but it doesn't.
Mm-mm.
But I know bringing it back to, all right, and I was doing this the other day where, okay, what is going on inside of me? If these relationships, these people that are in my sphere right now, and
Right.
I am feeling pain and hurt and anger, lots of all of that. And I'm like, okay, what is happening with inside of me? Why am I reacting this way? What is it that
Yes.
is triggering
Mm-hmm.
me about what this person is doing right
Yeah.
now?
What'd you come up with?
Oh man, I don't know. It was a lot, and I think I'm still processing it. Well, okay, coming back to, it's because that is within me too. I am judgmental. I can be, I hope I'm working on that, but it still resides within me. And
Oh, to be a
that's,
taskmaster or something like that.
yeah, just to, make judgments about everyone and everything. And
Oh shoot, I still do that. I still do that terribly, terribly. But I think I'm hopefully getting more mindful about it.
right.
I'm catching myself
Yeah.
most of the
Yeah.
time saying,
Right.
now you're being judgmental
Mhm.
because, because everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all on a different, like in their path, they're all on a different level of the
Mhm.
path. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you just got to let them be. Let it be.
Right.
Let it be.
Let it be. Yeah.
McCartney.
I was listening to that song recently. Yeah.
See, it came on for a reason.
It did. Exactly. I know. Why do we cling so tightly to our intentions? What do you think?
That's a great question. I think it has to do with identity.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think it's because we think that's who we are.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I used to beat myself up so bad if I couldn't get up on time to work out or to do something, and I would be in a shit mood all fucking day. Sorry. Is that okay? Is this podcast okay to cuss?
Yes.
Because really, I feel like just crap. And then, I started to wonder, well, where did that come from? Because like maybe who told you that you had to wake up at a certain time
Right.
and do a certain thing? And I started to look at like different people or notable people or whatever, what they do or whatever. And it's all over the place.
Mhm.
People up at 10, up at 3. It's like you start to realize that it's more of an individual thing, and
Sure.
then you realize, holy shit. If I would have just been doing the thing that I should have been doing, it flows effortlessly out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when I have setbacks or things don't go the way they are, I'm not so attached to the outcome. I can just sit back and say, oh, so, okay, that didn't go so well, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was my body. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big thing at my age now because it's just not doing the things like it used to do
Mm-hmm.
and having weird aches, and like, what the heck? And it's just like, what are you going to do? Are you going to beat yourself up about that and get in a bad mood and just shit on the rest of your day? Or are you just going to say, that's right, I got that pain in the ankle and I can't really do that right now. Maybe I can do something else.
Right.
If your intention, like Jessica and I were talking about this morning, if the intention is big enough and broad enough, then you shouldn't have any attachment to the outcome.
Right. Right.
Like if it's something like, if you wanted to individuate to get to know myself better, if that's your intention, that's going to be way easier than I want to make sure that I get something done within a month.
Right. Right. Yeah, I
Something like that.
see what you're saying.
So
Exactly.
those are two different types of intentions,
Right.
So maybe there's a hierarchy of that.
Sure.
Like maybe you say, okay, like I've got that as the main hierarchy. But to me, I think if you're working your life in any kind of way, you're trying to get it to where, yeah, like you do have that hierarchy of like, I want to be a better individual, so I want to individuate. Well, what does that mean?
Right.
Like you have to break that down into what that means daily. And so like a part of it is discerning your intentions
Yes.
and understanding that even though you think your intentions may be good, They might not be.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely they aren't. Most likely
Right.
they're just a product of the times that you're living in,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So that's okay,
Yeah.
you know, to be you and just let yourself express yourself the way it needs to happen.
Right. And you brought up an interesting point in terms of setting an intention where, okay, I just want to grow. I want to, have a closer connection with my creator. When we have an intention like that, then yeah, that you can say, all right, well, a person that is doing this, how do they start their day? And how, what are the things that Vanessa does?
What's
Oh,
it
she
look
gets
like?
up early. She doesn't get on her phone. She sits,
Mhm.
she meditates, prays, journals.
Mhm.
And so that's not coming then from that
Right.
rigid,
Right.
I will do this and check that box and then do this and check this box. It's coming from flow again,
Right.
because I have this intention for myself,
Mhm.
and so that Vanessa does these things. And so it's
Mhm.
that alignment.
Alignment, yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
And it helps to
Yeah.
come from that place too,
Right.
because then you see those triggers and you're like, here I am again.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bringing awareness to that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So intentions for good, or then begging people convince themselves that their intentions are good.
Yeah,
And
everybody
that's that.
does.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody does. Carnegie, I think it was Dale
Mhm.
Carnegie. Yeah, nobody thinks that what they're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thinks that what they're doing is
Mm-hmm.
wrong. Even criminals have made some kind of justification. Have you seen The Sopranos?
No, which is crazy, but at that time, no, I was not watching,
Yeah.
that type of TV.
Yeah.
But you keep recommending it.
It's a very, very good one. It's very, very nice. Yeah. Those with a lot of the evils of the world, but
Uh-huh.
they're all us. It's all us. You know, you think that this underground mafia family, it's like, oh no, only they're capable of doing it. It's like you watch that series and now you're like, holy crap, they're running the government now. They're
Mhm.
running Big Pharma now, you
Mhm.
know, those people. So,
Yeah. Why do you think people are so, why do they need others to believe that they're good? Like, I don't know, that's something that
oh, it's a
we're all
validation.
obsessed.
I believe it.
Validation. Okay.
Yeah, because I was just watching, saw this on the internet somewhere about Gen X were talking about how we had to, we learned this whole thing about narcissism. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but in pop culture, we kind of did.
Mm-hmm.
Like it came with our generation that we understood narcissism. And and I think all it is a validation to your identity, who you think you are, and if you really tie it into outward appearances and external things, then yeah, your family has to do that. They have to put up this facade. They have to laugh at your jokes. They have to do all these things. And it's all just for identity. It's all just to prop up this idea of I was the person who did this and I do these things, instead of just living from a place of wholeness
Mm-hmm.
where and that means you identify or you try to live with your shadow or try to at least incorporate or integrate it into who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that nobody wants to do. That's what we're all running away from. That's what you're filling yourself up with when we're watching TV and advertising, thinking that something, a beauty thing or a health thing or something's going to fix it.
Right.
Dianetics.
Don't know what that is.
It's a Scientology book. It
Oh,
came
okay.
out when I was younger. I
Uh-huh.
bought that.
Okay.
Because yeah, I mean, ultimately I think we're all searching for an answer. And so
Right.
that was my beginning.
Yeah. So I know intentions, I mean, they're typically hidden, and they're often hidden from ourselves too. And are we taking that time again to go inwards and sit with that? Like, why am I doing this? Where's this coming from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Am I doing it? Am I doing the things that I'm doing? Is it with intention? Like the way I'm living my
Right.
life?
Right.
Like my
Bingo.
daily life or the things that I'm doing, is that with intention?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you doing it out of like escapism?
Right.
Or,
Right.
what's that all about?
Yeah. I was just talking to my friend about that yesterday. If we don't set intentions for our lives, we just are like a ping pong ball, bouncing off this, reacting from that, which then sends the ball over here, and then we bump up against this and react to that. And so we're just ping ponging our entire lives away. and not living with that intention. And then maybe the question too isn't about, are our intentions good or not? It's, am I willing to become honest about what's actually driving me?
And that's why I say all the time that everything in life is a negotiation,
Hmm.
because you end up, yeah, you have to negotiate these things with
Hmm.
the people that are important,
Hmm.
So like your significant other, that's
Hmm.
a big one, because,
Hmm.
you're gonna, you guys are running the cosmic ship,
Hmm.
together. You're gonna see if you can get through this thing.
Hmm.
And I mean, if you're doing it this way, the
Yeah.
way Jess and I
Mhm.
are doing it, because then, yeah, it's just it runs differently,
Right. Right. Yeah,
hmm
for sure. And yeah, just coming back to seeing what is within, that is what is feeding our external reality. So whatever it is that is going on with inside of us is what is then projected in our outward lives and our relationships and our actions. Awareness matters. I think that
hmm
presence matters, and humility, which is hard.
Presence, that's nice.
Yeah.
That is very helpful.
Living in the absolute now
In the
is,
now,
yeah,
living presently, yeah.
right.
Yeah, because that's all you can do. Because yeah, people are gonna bump up against you all the time with their intentions.
Absolutely.
That's what they
Yeah.
do.
Right. Right.
And so you have to listen, and you're like, oh. And then I mean, like I said, it's all negotiated. I think that's why a lot of people keep themselves away from people. Like they get secluded. Like you can't reach certain people, with your intentions.
Right.
Those are only available if they can break through barriers to get to you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
Yeah.
so yeah.
What do you mean by it's all negotiated?
Okay, so like if I have an intention that I don't know, let's say, because I'm trying to think about people who block people
Hmm.
from, because once you get to a certain place, you don't have to deal with people at all, like for real. You
Right.
can block yourself off from everybody, and nobody will bring you any of their intentions. You can get to that point.
Sure.
So yeah, I think on a daily basis, you may bump into people like, a friend or a neighbor that their intention is one thing,
Yeah.
and it kind of rubs different to the intention that you had.
Right. Right.
Happens a lot. I mean, that's why we have sayings like good fences make good neighbors. So, so yeah, I think it's just understanding that others have those as well. And maybe that's why, see, isn't it funny? I always get back to the Lord's Prayer every
Mhm.
time we talk.
In
The
what way?
Sermon on the Mount about forgiving others for their trespasses. I never understood that, but it's like as an individual soul, if you're sovereign, what you'll have is a boundary,
Yes.
those are boundaries. And
Right.
so, you know, you have to forgive others for their trespasses, you know? So, those kids, I remember those kind of shitty teachers. They're just going to remember them as a shitty teacher. But then, there's other teachers that I still hold in high regard.
Yes.
I told you about my English teacher
Hmm.
in freshman English, I
That's
still
right.
remember her,
Yes.
you know.
And
She was
encouraged.
one of those voices that said, you should write, and I just ignored it, but her voice stayed there, and it's
Right.
like it's just one of those things that's probably in you that she saw,
Hmm.
that's like, okay, you should keep doing that.
Right. Right.
So if anything, that's a kind of a cool way to encourage people, when
Yeah.
you see that when you see that light coming through them, and
Hmm.
maybe that's what it is that you see,
Hmm.
that instead it's not the negative that you're seeing, it's just that you wish that it could be where the teacher would understand. You're just trying to get that light out of them.
Hmm.
Like there's something in them that has to come out.
Right.
And your job is to facilitate that.
Yeah.
But instead,
Yeah.
you're stuck in a paradigm that says, here's all my things. And if you don't measure up to it, then blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Right. Right.
And,
Which is public education today, I know. And
I salute, baby. Go along with that. But these new kids they're not putting up with it. This new generation is kind of,
there's a lot of awareness and discernment that I think this generation of
Yeah.
kids has. And it's sad because I've seen a lot of adults say, well, yeah, oh, they're just so weak. And sensitive, like it's a negative thing. And I'm like, because they see through the BS. That's it. They know when you are disingenuine and really don't care about them as a human being. It's just about the subject you're teaching. They get that.
Yeah.
And
It's all about the identity.
yeah. Yeah.
Keeping your identity as teacher. So you do all the teacher things and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I hope things can turn around.
Well, everybody's living their own journey. All those kids and her.
I know.
It's all part of it.
I know. Yeah.
So you can, I mean, this is just me now. I can watch that now and just say, hey, man, that's all part of it.
Right. Right.
Because I don't have any control over that.
No.
None.
No.
Only my reaction to it.
That's what I've told my students, my clients that I see. It's can't change who they are. How about you? But that's so hard for them, especially teenagers. Yeah.
Better they get independent now. Better they know that this thing is a path of individuation than they get lost. Because I remember at every corner, I kept thinking, well, for sure the people in high school are going to have the answers. No answers. For sure I'm going to get the answers in university.
Right.
No answers. For sure I'll get the answers in real life, working, with corporate people and knowing all these things. Nobody has the answers. And then I'll go get the answers from a guru. And now you find out gurus are like on Epstein's Island. So, okay, where, they're within. That's
Absolutely.
it. Like just within. They're within.
Yeah.
Quit looking outside. Quit thinking that somebody's going to save you. That teacher's never going to turn around.
Nope.
They never do.
Right.
These people that are stuck in identity, it's really, really hard for them to crack that open.
Right.
It's just, it's a part of who they think they are, that ego is so hardened that they have no way to think of themselves as anything other than that ego.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's powerful. And again, our ego exists to keep us safe. And so I don't know, when I've heard people say like, it's about, crushing the ego or ego death or something. It's like, well, no, that's not how this is, but it is, again, having awareness of what it is and how it was here to help us, but to then transmute that.
Well, we talked about this before. This thing is a playground. So we're supposed to come down here and have a good time.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody playing.
Yeah.
Nobody takes play seriously.
Yeah.
Right. Everything freaking is about work.
Right.
Maybe that's what we're seeing in that thing. Because it's like, what happened to play? What happened to just playing and learning through play?
Right.
I was driving through the country the other day, and I was like, it was a Monday, right? And there's nobody on the rivers or on the lakes in the numbers that you would think that there should be,
on a beautiful day.
On a beautiful day, right? And I'm just like, why don't people play? Like, what happened to this attitude of like, this is a playground? If it is a playground, where are all the people playing? They're all working.
Well, they're playing games maybe at work, which does not sound fun at all.
Yeah. Because the incarnation was supposed to be, this whole incarnation was supposed to be enjoyed, Yeah. And it doesn't have to be convoluted or anything. Like all this noise about AI and all that shit. Don't listen to it. Don't give it energy.
Right.
Just don't give it energy, because you're still a human.
Yes.
And you can go outside and enjoy a sunny day and smell the air and hug a tree. AI will never do that.
Right.
Your whole point was to come down here and love cats and love others and be in it, not of it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Yes.
Learn discernment.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you're not going to know it. You're going to play however you can,
Right.
but quickly as you can, learn, because otherwise you'll be an NPC. I thought about that. Remember Pokemon? Did Owen ever have a Pokemon?
No.
So yeah, that was
But Kai did. So
it would go up. The little Pokemon would go up to a dude, and then the little thing, what do you call it? A little talk window.
yeah, a little conversation bubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would just be like, he had nothing to say. Like he was not
Huh.
nothing for the game.
Okay.
It didn't help
Right.
you with the game. It was just something silly, and it was just like, what are you there for?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a no intention person?
There you go.
You
Maybe.
see?
Maybe. Yeah. I'm terrible at remembering just different Jewish sages and who said what or in what text it was written, but it's just coming to mind that, when our soul leaves this body and this incarnation, that creator will ask, did you enjoy my creation?
Right.
And I'm like, whoa, did I?
Did I?
Yeah, that was really,
Yeah.
really a powerful statement. That's made me think often. Am
Mhm.
I enjoying this?
Mhm. Or
And
am
if
I
I'm
making
not,
it harder on myself? Am I
right,
putting
right.
things in front of me that my ego thinks is good
Yeah.
because I saw a commercial on TV or whatever? And it's like, maybe you don't need that.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you don't need as much as you think you need. Whittle it all down, sell everything
Mm-hmm.
to get to nothing
Mm-hmm.
and find out what is it that you truly need?
Yeah.
What is it that you need on a daily basis?
Mhm. There you go.
So,
Yeah, intention.
mhm.
There- I'll end with this. As I was, it's a radio show I listen to, and there was a guest speaker on the radio show, Fortune de Saint Germain, and he was talking about prayer specifically and how much when it matters when we pray, intention plus joy.
Mm.
And I
I like that.
like that.
I
Yep,
like that.
intention
Yeah.
plus joy.
Get that frequency up.
Mhm,
Get that
exactly.
joy frequency up. But so that's really good stuff. How does
Mhm.
if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So I can be found on social media, on Instagram, TikTok. I didn't mention that last time.
Oh,
I do
very
have a
cool.
TikTok. And YouTube.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
And yeah, my business is Expansive Life Solutions. And I help people who are just feeling stuck and maybe in apathy, stuck on the same loops and where, yeah, we keep repeating the same
Mhm.
patterns in life and help people to interrupt that so they can have a joyful life and enjoy
Mhm. Yeah, enjoy it.
creation.
Enjoy the kingdom right
Yeah,
now because
exactly.
it's in front of you.
Yeah. And how
It's
about for you, Pablo?
Oh,
Where
okay.
can
So
people
I'm
connect
working.
with you?
Yeah, I'm working on. If you want to, you can go read my Substack,
Mhm.
The Chronicles of Pablo. If you want to just continue the conversation about any of these topics like Alan Watts or Wu Wei or anything like that, again, I'm just pulling myself out of Plato's cave right now. But you can email me at info@thechroniclesofpablo.com. And yeah, I hope to keep up the conversation.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to next week.